Today I would like to talk about the Chinese Lantern Festival. There are lantern festivals in many different Asian cultures, but I'm going to be using this as a way of showing how local culture can diverge significantly from national culture, international culture. So the Lantern Festival itself is the end of the Chinese Spring Festival. The festival itself started in the Western Han Dynasty, which lasted from 206 BC to 25 AD to celebrate the end of the Lunar New Year. Lunar New Year, or a Spring Festival, is a sort of a warding off of evil spirits, specifically a monster named Nian. Nian was supposed to. The depictions I've found have depicted it as kind of like a large tiger, lion, kind of like a bulky, scary creature. They would scare it away with bright lanterns and bright fireworks.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
The color red was apparently meant to scare off Nian. This is all international. This is something you can find most places in China. Lantern Festival, in turn, is the end of the Lunar New Year. This is asking a deity, in this case a pre-Taoist dragon named Tiai, for favorable weather, good health in the upcoming year. And you would do this by entertaining it with shows of wealth, fancy, beautiful lanterns. In modern culture, this has sort of changed a little bit. Now it's mostly just lanterns and lantern-shaped food, a certain type of dumpling. But it still has that same like wishing for a good year subtext. Foshan, China is not what I'd call like a exemplary place in China. It's in Guangdong province. It's not the largest city. It's kind of overshadowed by the shipping hub of Guangzhou and the technology hub of Shenzhen, which are right nearby. But Foshan, being a smaller city in this province, has developed its own local culture that does not exist anywhere else. This information is not available online. It's poorly recorded because it's informal history. It's not government mandated. In ancient China, the Lunar New Year was controlled by the government. The ruling dynasty would be the ones who ran the Lunar New Year celebration. Modern China does not do that for minor holidays. They have a large government-run Spring Festival TV show, which you can probably find in America. They do not have a significant amount for Lunar New Year, which means it's up to the locals and how they want to celebrate it. So, constant, consistent, controlled holidays are not a thing for these smaller holidays. In the case of Foshan, there's a very unique thing on a little tiny bridge called the Tongji Bridge. The Tongji Bridge is not big. It's walkable in 45 seconds to a minute, depending on how slow you go. It's in a little park in a little neighborhood, vaguely near Foshan's larger tourist destinations, but not so close that you'd really go there. The Tongji Bridge has two characteristic aspects. Number one, a large archway, so you can see it from a distance. This is not atypical. This is not exceptional. The exceptional thing is a statue that was made. The architect is not listed on the statue, and it's very difficult to find information about them. But it's a statue of a head of lettuce on top of a fountain. And this statue has changed the way the Lantern Festival functions in Foshan. So the locals began to associate leaves of lettuce with bills of money. The smaller Chinese currencies are green, like US dollars. They have to be much larger to change color. So locals would begin tossing leaves of lettuce into this fountain on Lantern Festival, which is already already petitioning for for like wealth and prosperity in an upcoming year, in order to get a better chance of having more wealth in the upcoming year. Originally, this was ignored, then policed. There would be police who would come to try and punish people who were throwing lettuce into a fountain, and then gradually ignored. And so now it's become a small local tradition to toss lettuce into the fountain at the Tongji Bridge. This is not something that's going to be a very big part of Chinese culture because it relies on a very small fountain in a smaller city in one province of a larger country. But it's persisted for decades now. It still exists, and it's become a small part of Foshan's local culture and traditions in the Lantern Festival. And while this lettuce statue is not built to last, it's not going to survive for generations. That's just not the reality. This is very much a part of who the Foshan people are and demonstrates a distinction between the people of Foshan and the people of Guangzhou, Shenzhen, other nearby large cities. Zhaoqing is kind of nearby. It gives a character to the people of this one particular city. It's connected via subway to Guangzhou. You can just ride the subway there, but it has a uniqueness to it. It has a certain like superstition that the Guangzhou people don't have. And this is part of why studying local culture is so important. Understanding why these people do what they do helps us understand more about them as people. Thank you.